In this video, I'm going to go over RX voice denoise, spectral denoise, and the RX editor. Like the title of this video suggests, this could be your new secret weapon. It's been my secret weapon for a long time, and the secret weapon of other prominent ASMR artists for a long time. It's an incredibly useful tool for really quickly and easily killing background noise that you don't want to hear, but then also being able to go in and lower the volume of very specific sounds that you maybe didn't realize happened while you were recording. So that footage you think might be lost or unusable could still actually be usable. Let's dive in. I'll show you how it all works, and then if you have any questions, just leave a comment. Let's start by looking at RX Editor. I'm running RX 8 Standard. I'm a couple versions behind. Shouldn't matter at all for this video. We're going to look at how to kind of use this software to paint away sounds you don't want anymore. And then we'll look at voice denoise, which comes with elements, and then quickly look at spectral denoise, which only comes with standard or higher, but just to kind of show you the difference between the two. I'm going to open up a file here by just dragging and dropping. This is from a video I did a couple of weeks ago. And what we're looking at here is called a spectrogram. It's a way to visualize your audio. It measures audio, the quiet parts as dark, the loudest parts as white, and it kind of goes from like a dark to blue to orange, yellow, and white. And then when you're looking at this is the left channel, this is the right channel, and from the bottom of each channel to the top, it's the bassy, the low frequencies up to the highest frequencies. It's like looking at a heat map of your audio, and it might be weird to see at first, but it doesn't take too long to get used to reading it. If you want to see the wave form of your audio, which is what you're probably used to, you can just drag this all the way to the left, and then the spectrogram is on the right. And if you want kind of a combo, you can do that. I just like looking at the spectrogram though. Let's find an area where I'm talking. That's an area where I'm breathing very heavily. I think I'm going to take this up a little higher. What's up? Sometimes I talk to myself before I really get going, and I'll use that as bonus content for patrons on Patreon. So if you want to see that sweet pre-video, post-video, me talking to myself, and that's some sick bonus content right there. Patrons, I think I'm going to do another one of those things where that resident tone down here is awful, but it doesn't happen during the actual video, so I'm not going to worry about it. What I am going to worry about is, see these lines right here and then right here? That's like a specific pitch or a hum we do not want to hear. Let's listen to this right here real quick. You might have a hard time hearing this. It's way up there. It's like 15.5 or 16K, but this, it almost sounds like a distant airplane. It's barely there, but it's there. I have a little device on my desk. It's USB powered. It's got a little fan, and normally I turn it off, but I didn't. So I'm going to show you now how to go in and kill stuff like that. Let's start by killing this up here, and then we'll kill the airplane sounding thing. Let's start by taking care of this high-pitched frequency here, and then we'll take care of this airplane sounding kind of a thing down here. I'm going to zoom in down here a little bit, and then you can just click and drag. Zoom in a little bit more. All right, we've got a good view of it. Down here, I'm going to go to the you can select horizontally versus, you got your vertical selector here, and then you got a box. So if you want to select box stuff, you can. But I want this to go through the entire video. I'm going to select that right there. And then there's a box down here, instant process. That means when you select something, it's going to instantly do something to it. And you can attenuate, declick, fade, gain, and replace. I would say attenuate is going to be totally fine for what you want to do. And then there's gain. Attenuate's kind of like a sexier gain. It's not just a hard turn everything I've selected down by 5 dB or whatever you select. It's a smarter. It's harder to hear that you've affected your audio in some way when you use attenuate. Now select this. It will attenuate it automatically across the entire audio file. And you can see it got turned down a little bit. I'm going to do it one more time. There we go. That's probably good enough. Now let's go ahead and zoom back out here. And we can see it's much harder to see and probably much harder to hear if in fact you could hear that sound to begin with. Now let's take a look at this sound down here. All right, we'll go ahead and we'll zoom in a little bit and then we'll scroll down. You can kind of see it a little more clearly there. There we go. And we'll zoom in a little bit more. Okay, we're going to do the exact same thing. Attenuate. And we'll attenuate again. And you can do this a few times for each line, right? You can see that it's not just a single pitch, it's a few different pitches. So you can see I've attenuated a few times now, and we'll go back and listen. And I'm not really hearing it anymore. That kind of distant airplane sound's not really there anymore, which is great. That's fantastic. Now let's say we had like a car driving by or some kind of like a boomy something happening. Let's go to this area over here. And we'll zoom in a little bit. There we go. Let's do the paintbrush. Now, let's say, oh man, this part's really loud. I don't want it to be that loud. I'll just paint it, and with attenuate, it's now quieter. There we go, a little quieter. This is really loud down here. I'll just attenuate that. It's quieter now. Let's say this right here is the sound of a bird chirping. I don't want to hear it. I'll just circle it, attenuate. It's not there anymore. And it's that easy. It's amazing. Oh my gosh. I love this tool. I don't want to hear that sound. I don't want to hear that sound. Goodbye. 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 And chop. And chop. And slice. And dice. Goodbye. Anyways, that's how you get rid of sounds you don't want in RX editor. It's pretty great. All right, now, and let's grab a noise profile over here. So we're going to turn off instant process, go to our horizontal or vertical, whatever, the one that lets you grab from side to side. And we're going to grab a noise profile right here. Let's listen to that. And we don't want that white noise. So I'm going to open up voice denoise, learn. It now has learned that profile. I'll find a place where I'm talking. There we go. Yeah, sure, right there. Let's select that area right there and hit render. There we go. And now you can see the noise is quieter. Let's listen. What's up, patrons? I think I'm going to do another one of those things where all right, and you see my voice is really not all that affected. And if I go towards the area like right here, you'll be able to hear that noise kind of kick back in. I don't like to cut off the top of my head. I don't want to be too far back though. Hear the noise right there? Top of my head. I don't want to be too it's not there, then it's there. I don't like to cut off the top of my head. I don't want to be too far very, back. Very subtle. But that's how that works. So I could select everything, Command A, and then hit render. And it will pretty quickly run voice denoise across the entire thing. And we're left with audio that's wooden objects. Definitely a little bit better. Step 1 has less noise. And if you feel like it took out too much, just undo. Go into voice denoise here. Bring down reduction a little bit. Play around with it until you find something you like. Right? You can right click here, just FYI, and render voice denoise. Or you can see it also had Command 4 as a hotkey. So if I didn't like it, I could Command Z and I could hit Command 4 and it would do it. Learn your hotkeys. They'll save you time. And then if we wanted to look real quick at spectral denoise, it's kind of let's go to the default here and I'll click here and then right click, learn spectral denoise. It's learned that noise profile right there. And you can decide how much you want to turn that profile down. I do want the quality, FYI, to be best. And what we can do then is Command A. And then if we right click, we can render spectral denoise across everything. You'll see it takes a little bit longer than voice denoise. And we're probably going to get a fairly similar result, I think. There we go. We can see it's run the course. Let's listen. And I don't want to be too far back, though. Yep. Aside from that, my obnoxious MacBook fan, which is adding its own noise. I think I'm going to do another one of those things where we can see that we've eliminated a lot of that background noise. So that's RX Editor. I think it's fantastic. It's very much worth learning how to use. Now let's head over to Premiere and I'll show you how to add these plugins into that application. Now we're in Premiere and I've got the exact same audio that we just used in RX. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Audio Track Mixer. We're going to hit this tiny little caret symbol here. And it's going to drop down, and here's where you can add all of your effect plugins on every track. I would recommend for ASMR that you do it on the actual audio track, just in case you're adding any other sounds. It's only going to affect the audio coming from your microphones. So we have on A1, that is where our audio is right here. Let's go ahead and start by adding, you can use audio units, VSTs, VST3s, whatever you want. Under restoration, isotope, we're going to start with voice denoise. Let's find that area around here where it was just the noise. Oh, and it's going to be harder to hear because voice denoise is working. We're going to bypass it. All right, so you can kind of hear that, the noise. We're going to turn on adaptive mode, and it's going to, in real time, affect the audio. So it's not destructive. We're not telling it to remove the audio and then it's removing it. It's just doing it in real time. So we're going to unbypass, hit adaptive, hit play. And then if we turn this down, you can hear the noise. Bring the threshold up a little bit. You can see these points right here are constantly kind of shifting up and down. That's it learning in real time, the noise profile. So let's take the threshold down a little bit and then we can totally kill the noise and play around with it till it gets to a point you like. And then over here, we can go back towards the beginning. There. More noise, less noise, more noise, less noise. There we go. No. That's it. It's that simple. Once you get it where you like it, just forget about it. There it is. Spectral denoise is basically the same. If we go to spectral denoise, double click on it, you can hit adaptive mode. Not recording. And just do the same thing. All right, there we go. You can see how spectral, it picks up that really horrible high pitch sound. So, yeah, I don't know what it is that's causing that noise in my room. But anyways, a little higher. What's up, patron? Works the same way. Get your threshold where you want it, and then how much you want it to reduce once it has that threshold. I always like to have quality up to best. I think I'm going to do another one of those things, right? Though do keep in mind, if you are editing, there will be a little bit of a lag if you put it on best because it's working a little harder. So if you want to work fast, get it locked in where you like it, and once you like it, just do best, then you're good to go. But if you need to do some like video editing and stuff, just leave it on fast until you're done and then knock it up to best before you export. But that's it. That's how you use those. It's so easy. I highly recommend RX Elements. By all means, please get it. And yeah, that'll do it for this video. If you have any follow-up questions or a comment or maybe you want to suggest the topic for another tutorial, just leave a comment and I'll answer when I can. If you would like to watch my main ASMR stuff, just look for Bearded Audio ASMR on here, or you just go to youtube.com/Bearded Audio ASMR, and you'll see all my weird, exciting, and interesting videos there. I'll see you next time.